In today's video, we'll talk about what I would call exotic postures, i.e. posture that you take when you're tired of sitting at your desk and you want to change your posture, believing the idea is that the best posture is the next one. Welcome, I'm Olivier Girard, ergonomist, posture therapist, author of the Posture Manual and creator of 3 online posture programs. Just to put you in the mood of what's coming next, well, my answer to the best posture is the next one, is alternating between unhealthy postures is never gonna make you healthy at the end of the day. We'll start with a very short experiment that I usually do with my students when I teach in companies. Look, sit on your hands, find your sitting bones. If you slouch, your sitting bones move forward in front of you. This rounds your back and overload the discs. What you can notice in this posture is that you can feel the spine protruding from your skin. Now, if you roll on your pelvis when you have your weight on your sitting bones, then you're in the middle, what we call a flat back. And if you go too far forward, you see now your pelvis is tilted in such a way that the sitting bones are behind you, which hollows your back. Okay, that is this mobility of the pelvis. Next to that, we have another mobility of the pelvis, which is sideways like this. When I have more weight on one side, my back is twisted. As you will have discovered in my other videos, what's a neutral position is when I'm on my sitting bones, and to stay like this for 25 to 30 minutes, I'm against the lumbar support. And then when you're tired, you will think, okay, let's change the positions, and we have variants. We have people who put one foot under the chair. All right? Well, when you put one foot under the chair, that means that basically there's a heel under that sitting bone, and there's nothing under this one. So your pelvis is like this, which is tilted, which is the reason why I now need my armrest, which will mess up my neck and shoulders. Hence, you may think, okay, if that is creating a twisted back, let's cross both legs. And now I'm not twisted anymore, or at least much less, you know. This is when we need the test of the palpation of the back, I mean. Look, put your hand in your lower back and you will see, at least men will see, that their spine is protruding, which is characterizing a round back, as we just said. Ladies will probably manage, due to the different shape of the pelvis, to flatten their back, or at almost flatten their back. If they look just above the sacrum, they will see that there is usually an overload of these segments too, i.e. the spine, the very low spine, is protruding. But even if you manage to keep your back flat, well, observe that you don't have any lumbar support anymore, meaning that the horizontal part of your weight stays within you. And that should create a click in your mind, meaning that you're not transferring your weight to your chair, i.e. it stays within you. Where does it stay in particular? In your hip joints. You know, your hip joints are now in a closed position, which is a position of maximum pressure between the articular surfaces. And the result of that is joint overuse, which can be soft tissue problems such as bursitis, but which can be also cartilage overuse called osteoarthritis. So you see, even if you argue that you can protect your back because you're very flexible or because you don't palpate properly, well, you will not be able to escape the argument of pressure in the hip joint. And this is why, you know, these type of postures, one side, the other side, the two sides at the same time, aren't good alternatives when you're tired of being on your chair. What I usually say is that, well, this should be solved in the Jesus way, which is get up and walk, you know. When you're tired of sitting, it just means that you need to stand. You should stand every 30 minutes around, and over the day in total, you should aim at 50% sitting, 50% standing. One way to stand is to use a sit-stand desk if you have one. The other way to stand is to take a bit of distance and analyze everything that you do on your chair out of a habit more than out of a necessity. And if all these activities, like drinking your coffee, like having a call, like all that. You take the habit to do them standing, while quite naturally in an office environment, you will get your posture variation. For gamers, the discussion is a bit different because, gamers don't have alternative activities. They're entirely on the PC, no call, no nothing. But that's one of the reasons why I'm quite worried for the long-term health of gamers, especially if they game at night once they have an office job during the day.